You want reviews for home automation? Why not we start with something live?
We take a look at the RGBW Smart Wi-Fi LED floor lamp with Alexa and Google integration.
Welcome back, everybody. Spike Studio's been gone for a little bit. We were in the same realm as everyone else, dealing with everything in the world going on. So we thought, why not if we spend all this time at home? We talk about some more home automation things we've done around here to make things a little better. This company's out of China, Shenzhen, China, actually. And I don't know if it's HueLiv or HueLiv, but Hue, not Philips Hue, really kind of threw us off when we saw it. But this is a smart lamp. It actually connects to your mobile device. There's an app. It connects to voice controls for Alexa and for Google Home. So you have all of those as well. It also has a couple other cool features about music and things that are supposed to work, weren't too happy with. Here we're going to talk about this 66-inch tall lamp, give or take a few. It's about an inch wide. Put it together, walk you through the paces, talk about the app, and see how it performs, and then tell you the price point and if it's even worth it. So everything comes in the box pretty much ready to screw together. The base is in the bottom under the styrofoam. This thing's pretty darn heavy. It's what gives the weight to the box, which is great because you don't want the lamp falling apart. What we're going to do is go ahead and assemble it, make it look like the picture when we're done, have all these lovely pieces ready to go. And by the way, this top part does tilt to 30-inch, which we'll see when it's put together. So let's go through the paces. Mental note, do not hit the studio lights while you're doing it. Make sure the connector is put all the way together right here in this little clip, otherwise that won't work for you. And then tuck the wires in for the final step back into the pipe and put the final piece together. So now we're totally assembled, and as you can see, the top part does have, as I said, a nice tilt to it on there. So all you have to do next is plug it in, but they say to load the app and do some configuration stuff on the app first before you do it. So we'll jump over to that before we hook up to the light and talk about some of the features. As you can see, we are fully assembled, so there's a couple steps you need to do next. One is download the application they have. They actually have QR codes built in here on the install guide for both iOS and Android. But it is called Smart Life. There's a Smart Life app that you can download and install. Once you install, you need to create an account for the first time. It'll ask for an email address. You have to give an email address you can get to, even temporarily, because you're going to need to put in a 6-digit code so it can verify the email address, at which time it brings you into the screen and you're able to add a device. At that point, you have to do a few things with the lamp. So there's a couple different ways you can do it. You can see it's on right now. There's 3 buttons, which we'll talk about a little bit later on, but there's a power button, a light button, and actually a USB port. Holding down the power button or hitting it 6 times puts it into a pairing mode. Once you enter pairing mode, you then have to add the device here on the application itself. Did it twice, failed both times. It says make sure it's there, make sure it was blinking quickly. Well, it only blinked a few times when it was doing pairing mode. So you can actually switch to a different pairing mode, which is connecting directly to it. So we're going to try that one as well and see which one works better. Is it connecting to the Wi-Fi or is it connecting to the pairing mode directly to the device itself? So apparently it can broadcast its own Wi-Fi so you can do the configuration. So we're going to go ahead and put into that mode next, switch the pairing mode on the phone itself, and then go ahead, configure the Wi-Fi, meaning when it connects to the local, it's going to say, hey, I know the password for the Wi-Fi here, and reset the device. You got to power it on, make sure it's either on or off. As you can see now it's back on. Put it into pairing mode. And once it's blinking, I'm going to go ahead and hit connect. You should look for an SL or a Smart Life signal that's inside of this. Right now you can see it was going through. I'm looking inside of my networks for Smart Life or for SL, one of the 2 signals, and neither one of them can be found. So I'm going to go with the guess at this point that I have to go back to the Wi-Fi and try that one again because the pairing mode to this one isn't working. I read that online as one of the problems. So one thing you come to Spike Studio for is honest reviews. We've given great products, bad reviews. We've given products you think were bad, great reviews. It's just all over the board. This one, it's actually on and working. 6 tries. It took 6. Twice trying to connect locally and 4 times trying to connect both to the Wi-Fi. Yes, the access point's really close. Yes, the signal for everything is tons of bars. If I could begin to show you this one right now. But let's go ahead and take a look. Oh man, I tell you, sometimes stuff just go. You have full control over the light itself. We can change the coloring. You can see it gets more yellow if you wanted to. We can bring it up into the whites if we wanted to. I'm going to do a full color display, but I want to give you an idea that everything's built in, including all the color ranges. So that's probably one of the coolest parts, is now you've got something that you can control in the back end with all the color ranges and simply with the application itself. Next step up is scenes. They actually have pre-made scenes. Dazzling that changes colors, colorful that fades in and out. They've got leisure. They've got all these different tones and things built into this. I'm going to stay away from some of them. Nighttime. We'll take a look at night. Nighttime looks pretty good. So that just dims it for you. Then the last part is music. Now, what I learned about music is the application has to be able to hear the music and be running, and has to have access to your microphone. So if you're going to do that to record audio, to get it to change colors based upon what you say, it has to be able to hear you, then to match the beats and change the colors in your voice and what you're saying in the room. So basically, your speaker has to be able to be heard by your phone, so that way it can keep up with the beat of the music. So they're passing audio through this. It isn't going into the, it's a mess. I don't know about that one. I thought you plug something into the phone, or if I played music on the phone, it would actually, change the colors. Apparently no. It actually has to hear audio from somewhere else, be it you talking or be it music that's playing in the background. Why am I not playing music? Because of copyrights. And I don't want my stuff taken down. I've had these problems before, many times before. There is a built-in timer. There is brightness controls as well, which I really like for sliding across. And you can dim it all the way down in different shades of the colors. So they give you a lot of capabilities there. One of the last pieces we'll talk about is the USB. We're going to talk about that up close, and also put this in a dark room and give you one more quick look. So real quick, I want to give you a quick look at just some of the color controls. So we're using the application to scroll through. I just want to get out of the way. That way we don't have any things fading through. But you have full controls. You have the ability to bring up the brightness of these as well, as you can see it going. You have the ability to change tone and hue, bring those in. You can go into the white colors, as I said before, from the yellows all the way up to the bright whites. So you have that ability to have something in the background for reading purposes or bright. And lastly, these scenes, one more time. We're going to talk about these. These scenes are a little bit different. They're supposed to do, cool things, colorful, dazzling, all these other ones. But there we go. Whew. Once you hit them now, it should be automatic and should start doing its own thing on the colors. And then it takes its own control, as you can see. It actually changes colors when it wants to. That would probably drive most people crazy. What I do like is two things. There is a read mode, very bright, and there's a work mode. And the work mode I really like because it should give you, more of a office type hue or color. But honestly, I'm gonna go back in, I'm gonna get into the whites. And if I'm in a work mode, I'm probably gonna bring it down into the more of the yellow hues, or a nice light color that falls into that range, and maybe one of the yellows or something dimmer, and then bring down the brightness a little bit too, just so for some background light. So there you go. We'll talk about the USB port next. So the last part is three quick things. The USB port in the side. The USB port is strictly there for charging purposes. So what you're able to do, which is strange, and you can really just gently hit these buttons and turn things off, is charge something from that. Do not exceed the maximum amperage coming out of this, or the power buttons don't work. It says it in very broken language inside of the guide, but basically, you try to take too much power out of this USB port that you see the picture of, you won't get the lamp to work anymore at that time. So keep that in mind. The other part is hooking this up to voice control. What's cool is if you go in, you can now authorize this Smart Home, Smart Life app as a skill inside of both your Google and inside your Amazon setups. So you have voice controls as well, turn things on and off. It's going to keep the last settings. It doesn't have a lot of the controls of the colors, but you're able to say turn on, turn off your lamp. Make sure whatever you name it. Right now it has a very long name by default. A Smart Floor Login 2.4 gigahertz has this long name. You're going to want to go and edit the name of this lamp when you can, which I'm going to do right now. Hook it up to the system, test out the voice control. If there's anything wrong with that, I'll let you know before I post the review, but otherwise, I like it. Looks great. It's going to sit in the office. I might get another one of it, have a couple of them in there as background lighting. I've been tired of the home office appeal of always worrying about what my virtual background is or what's going on, and now I can really light things up and change how it looks. So another Spike Studio product review. Please click subscribe. Please like the video. Share if you need to. And of course, if If we put a product link in, it is an affiliate link, but let us know. If you want to get one from us, send us an email.